Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to history class. So inshallah we'll be reviewing our topics in the class from the first week of resumption till date. First and foremost, we have the introduction to history. What I said, history study is the study of past events. And the importance of history is that it learns lessons about past events. It makes us to get acquainted with our past leaders and also identify their level of development within and outside the nation. Then we have different sources of history. We have the oral source, the written source, the artifacts, the archaeology, and also images. They also serve as sources of history. Then the next topic is British rule in Nigeria. We've discussed this in detail in the class, where I said British rule is also known as colonialism. That is the act of the white men controlling us. Though in Nigeria we are controlled by the British, that is the European, the white men. They came through trade, missionaries, and also force. Then there are reasons for British occupation, that is reasons why British occupy Nigeria. One, for economic reason, under which we have trade and also the advantage that they see that we are blessed, we are endowed with different raw materials. So they use that as an excuse to exploit us in order to grow their own nation. Then we also have religious purposes as one of the reasons why they occupy Nigeria. They came with the purpose of spreading Christianity. Then we move into the period of British occupation. There are about 4 periods, which we have from 1861 to 1900 to 1914, where the amalgamation took place. The amalgamation of the Northern and the Southern Protectorate took place in 1914. And in 1960, Nigeria became independent. That is, we became free from slavery and we became free from the British administration. Then we looked at colonial administrators in Nigeria. That is the white men that ruled us during the colonial period. First, we have Lord Lugard, who was responsible for the amalgamation of the Northern and the Southern Protectorate in 1914. Then we have Hugh Clifford, Hugh Clifford had a constitution that was written by him then. Then Donald Cameron, Arthur Richards, Bernard Buglen, they all served as administrators during the colonial period. Then we move to the topic protectorate. The meaning of protectorate. We said a protectorate is a territory that is controlled and protected by another country. Nigeria had the Northern and the Southern Protectorate. Then the protectorate before 1914 were the Northern Protectorate, the Southern Protectorate, and the Lagos Colony. Then after the amalgamation in 1914, after the merger, instead of the 3 protectorates, we had only 2 protectorates, which were the Northern and the Southern Protectorate. And the reason for this amalgamation was for easier governance and in order to cost saving and also to bring about unity. Then the protectorate after 1914, it became a colony and a protectorate, which is controlled by one center. Then the consequences of British rule. There are positive and negative consequences of British rule. The positive one is that they brought about the Western education. They helped in creating more rules and then modern governments. But the negative consequences of the British rule on us Nigerians is 1, resource exploitation. Despite ruling us, our resources were exploited by the whites. And then the loss of local power. Then before they are coming, all these states, all these division, administration, we are ruled by traditional leaders. But after coming of the whites, they centralize the whole thing. So the local power now lose its power. Then after that, we looked at, yes, don't forget, I said that before 1914, we had 3 protectorates, and after 1914, we had only 2 protectorates, which were the northern and the southern protectorates. And these were the topic we discussed in details in the class. So I hope you go through your notes and read and drop any questions you have at the comment section. Anywhere you need clarity, feel free to write, and inshallah I'll be available to answer all your questions. So in the end, I pray may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us and strengthen us in Iman and guide us to understand what we've learned from the beginning of the term down to this period.